Hey designer, Alex here, welcome to the channel, and in today's video we are going to discuss should you know how to code as a UI UX designer. Before we get started with the video, make sure to check out my membership. Link is going to be down in the description below. Membership contains all of my courses, 500 plus design products, mentorship, private Facebook group, practice files, and much more. So if you're interested, check it out. Link is going to be down in the description below. Now let's jump into the video. So should you know how to code as a UI UX designer? Well, it's really not that simple to answer. First of all, do you want to know how to code? If you do, that's great, because that's going to help your career massively, because things we create as UI UX designer end up being coded. So therefore, knowing how to code is really great benefit and a really great skill to have, because it's going to allow you to get that better job. It's going to allow you to be paid more than other designers, because obviously you know how to code. But in terms of is it necessary? Definitely not, because you can find jobs out there without knowing how to code. What I would recommend to every single designer out there is at least learn how to code functions. So therefore, when you are designing, you are able to structure your design in such a way so developers can develop it more easily. That's going to reduce your time after the project is completed with the developers, so you're not going to go back and forward between them. You're going to simply deliver your final design and call it a day. So make sure when you're creating your design, make sure to structure it in such a way so it's much easier for developers to code. It's much cheaper for the client, for the end product to launch it, because developers are not going to spend as much time developing your design because you designed it properly in the first place. That's what I'm explaining in my courses all of the time, and designers are really liking that approach. I'm finding from the feedback I'm getting from them, because I'm walking my students step by step in these courses, especially in my Adobe XD masterclass, and you can check it out. Link is going to be down in the description below, because I'm explaining step by step about how to prepare your designs for developers, about how to structure your layers, about how to structure your groups, how to name your layers, how to export your images, which file formats should you export your files at. I'm also speaking about color tokens, how to name your colors properly so that developers can easily identify them in the design and therefore including them in the design, how to share your designs properly with clients and developers so developers can easily understand them, and so on. In terms of functionalities, because we're speaking mostly about Adobe XD on this channel, Adobe XD does not have a native functionality for HTML, but it does have for CSS. What you can do is you can share with your developers, and you can share for development, and inside of there, developers can see CSS and they can see some basic classes. And if you included these color tokens, they are going to transform into classes, which is going to be much more simpler for these developers to use once they start coding. In terms of code itself, you can use something like Anima to export HTML and CSS. You have to pay for Anima, so make sure to understand that, but it's going to save you a ton of time if you want to go in such a route. So basically, when you finish your design, you can export it through Anima. It's going to export it in HTML and CSS and some basic JavaScript, and you can also integrate some more complex animations in Anima, so you're going to get a much better end result with their library of animations, rather than using these default Adobe XD animations. You can also include different videos, different GIFs, and so on. So if you want, you can check Anima and see how that works. Alternatively, and what I would actually recommend, is to learn how to use Webflow. Webflow is this online tool which does not require code, but it does require code structure. What that means is you have to understand what divs are, what columns are, what content is, and how to structure everything inside of Webflow. So basically, to end with the website which looks exactly the same like your design, which is really difficult when you're working with external developers, because they don't understand your design. Especially if the communication is not good, then it all goes into big trouble. So if you want, you can learn how to use Webflow. It's really not that difficult to learn, and you can export proper code with proper animations, and you can create all kinds of these different animations. You can use something like Lottie files to import all of these more complex animations, and you can really end up with nice looking design and completed looking design, which is ready to use for clients to simply export it for them to use, and they can upload it to their servers, and basically site is live. So to conclude, should you know how to code as a UI UX designer? Yes, definitely, but if you're not interested, it's definitely not mandatory. As I explained, you can use something like Anima, you can use something like Webflow, or you can simply code it yourself if you're good at it. But just remember, for clients, it's all about time. So time is money in the business world. So the faster they can get the final product, the better it is for them, because it's going to save them a lot of time, it's going to save them a lot of money, and they can focus on their business much more, which is the most important thing for them after all at the end of the day. Thank you for watching this video. I really hope you found some value in it. If you did, make sure to press that like button. I upload new videos here on the channel every single week about Adobe XD, design, passive income techniques, motivation, and more. So if you're interested, make sure to subscribe and make sure to turn on those bell notification icons so you don't miss a single upload. And until next time, take care.